It's New Thought Tuesdays. Today, turning inward for truth, finding freedom beyond the headlines. I'm Dean Regan. This is Rich Smith. Hey, Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
Very good, sir. Very
Oh,
good.
I got to tell you, since we've been talking last week, I shut off all media. I don't watch any news. And I feel
Basically,
great. I feel
yes,
good. It feels
yes.
good.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. There's the crux of our whole New Thought Tuesdays today. It is curating your news. And it's really the news on our televisions, our radios, our internet, web live streams are only a metaphor for the thoughts that we bring into our mind,
Yeah.
our human mind. So it's all about what are you going to curate, and we're starting with those headlines because there be a lot of headlines in them in their hills. There's a lot of headlines going on. And by headlines we mean there's a lot of opportunities to see something that might be interesting to everybody. Let's get it out to them quickly. Something people need to be aware of. People need to watch out for. We're going to take care and make sure they're really taken care of, and we're going to give them something a little bit to encourage some fear, doubt, and worry. Not
Right.
always the case, not always the case, but often the case.
Yeah. Do you remember they used to have a term called muck cracking back in the day?
Muckraking.
Muck raking.
Muckraking, yes.
Okay, muck cracking, which was they'd use the media because they'd use fear, doubt, and worry because that's what excites people. That's what people are drawn to.
Yeah,
you know? And so my wife listens to this good news network where it's just all about good news, stuff that makes you feel good.
love that.
Yeah.
We need to share that in the inner circle today and give people a link, Rich. I want to share that. Oh, speaking of the inner circle, here's our promise. Here is our promise today. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to show you how to create more freedom in your life, more of what you want in your life by aligning you with your unlimited power, which is turn within you. You'll learn how to engage truth, engage trust, engage wisdom,
Yeah.
and transform your life. So that's what we're here for today. And we will be speaking on social media for about 15, 20 minutes. And then we go into the inner circle where we explore the topic with our particular group of folks, our members, and get even deeper into the topic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Rick,
And you were talking about going within.
yeah,
Okay. To a lot of people, it's like, "Well, what are you talking about going within?" It's like, it's to me going within, it's just that's connecting with that's where the divine presence is, that's within you, the divine presence, God, Christ consciousness, Buddha mind. It's all within us. And when we're looking outside ourselves for answers to what's going on, especially, I'm talking these days about what's going on in the political environment. People are worried, fearful. They're going to the news. They're seeing stuff that's making them worry, fear, doubt, and worry. Where's that going to get us? So what you're saying is go within, connect with that divine presence, knowing that we're protected. There's an infinite power and presence within each every one of us. I call it the genie within, and
yep.
that we can connect with to give us peace. What else, Gene? Peace, harmony, joy,
Love,
love.
wisdom.
Yeah.
You go within. We also call it that still small voice, and I consider it that internal music, that rhythm, that harmony, that melody that you turn within instead of looking outside of yourself and making that your internal self. First, going within, listening to yourself. Now, and when you're that's why we have these wonderful spiritual practices. It's just, we call them, spiritual practices. It's just a form of self-care,
Yeah.
very, very, and infinite self-care. But you go into these places of self-care where as you turn within, you get that feeling sense of what's going on. And as you are in a sense of calm, with an optimism, an authentic optimism, an authentic joy, that's when you listen to those voices that are within yourself and you take your human action.
Yeah.
So right now, what we got going on is uh, we've got a lot of news going on. And I'm not just talking about the news media. There's a lot of stuff going on, and people are bringing that news to us. Okay. And we are choosing to turn on the media and listen. What station are you turned into and tuned into and turned onto? Where are you getting your information? And please know I'm using this as a metaphor for all spiritual awareness.
Yeah.
Where if you turn into a particular station, you're going to get a particular point of view. We've become more familiar with that. Another station, there's going to be another point of view. And they may be truthful. They may be there to encourage some fear, doubt, and worry, rile you up. They may be there to rile you up in another direction. So these are the news media that we get to take a look at. God bless them. That's fabulous. But it's up to us to curate what we take in.
Yeah.
I
And what
know.
we take in, how do we decipher it to be spiritual truth or coming from the opposite of spiritual truth, which is a falsehood of who and what we are as spiritual beings living a physical experience in this life? And so, I like what you're talking about, Dean. Listen to the music, okay? Living in concert with life. You use that metaphor to teach your spiritual principles and stuff. And for me, it's the infinite filmmaker. And what I use is the metaphor that your life is a movie created by an infinite filmmaker. And here's the thing, Dean. We're all watching this movie out there going on around us. And how is that influencing us? And how
Yes.
can we take and recreate our own movie? Isn't that what it's all about? How can we, through what we take in, decipher it and take out of it that which is spiritual truth, and then have that reflect out in our own life? And then we as a result of that, we start to take in other things that are of spiritual truth that bring us more joy and happiness in life. And so I'm really working on cutting out the opinions, this against them, good versus evil or bad.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I want to see in the world? What do I want to experience for my movie called life?
Yes.
I invite you guys out there. What do you want to experience for your movie called life? What kind of a life do you want to be living? Do you want to focus on that which is not working, that which is full of fear and doubt and worry, or that which is full of faith and joy and hope? I choose to focus on the
Because
opposite.
our premise is the that which you focus on increases. So if you're going to focus on horrible, terrible, evil, bad, wrong, us, them, we're going to be generating more evil, wrong, terrible, us, them.
Right.
And that comes from that, that prick of, oh, well, what if, well, oh, what happened? Hey, and I'm a human being. I get some feelings every once in a
Yeah.
while. It's like, I'm a little bit concerned about this. When I go to a little bit concerned about this, I then go to prayer. And one of the things that has come forward for me in this time is to become more creative.
Yeah.
That there is something going on in my life experience, and it is not based on the political climate. It's just based on everything that's going on. I'm listening to the internal voice, and it is calling me to be more creative. And every time I go in that direction, there's just blossoming of love that goes on in my life.
Because, and I'll speak to my creative filmmakers and creative writers and songwriters and musicians. The reason is because that is within us, that desire, that urge to create. And that's why, I can't get a real job, it's because I've got this desire to create. And as I say, the infinite filmmaker, it can't get a real job. It just has to do what it does best, which is create beauty and harmony and peace in the world around us.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere present, and it's right where we are. And we just have to, through our consciousness, go there. And so the point I was trying to get across, and I forget what it was now, but
It
it's
was,
within us, the desire to create.
yes.
And so if you're not creating, you feel, I know when I'm not creating, I feel like just not very good. I feel blocked. I feel like my life just is, I'm not expressing my divine self. So that
And I
getting back
love what
to
you did,
creating.
folks. Pay attention to what Rich just did there, because what he started with was a you statement. When you're creating, you really need to. And he stopped immediately. He brought it back to his I statement of what his perspective is, his spiritual perspective in life. Bringing it not what you are doing or they are doing or any kind of separation, but really I. And that's when you start working with the I, that I idea of I am, that I am, this power of truth within me, this gentle power, this uplifting power, this guided power within me that just comes from freedom. And when you're coming from a place of love, of faith, of trust, even of hope, that's when I encourage myself and all of my clients to listen to that still small voice. And that's where you take your action. Take your action from a place of the cup being full of love, not the scarcity, lack, limitation in every sense. You
Yeah.
do it do that in every sense. Well, Dean, what about do it there? Love. Well, Dean, you see what love, trust, truth, faith go within. And that's one of the reasons why we're talking, Rich, about this whole curating your news. In the actual TV world, determine how much news you bring in. And because I particularly value civic awareness. So I want to have a sense of what is going on. I see these news organizations as a tremendous asset. It helps me get a sense of what's going on in our global community. And that I bring back into prayer. But I've got maybe 28 minutes of news a day max
Yeah.
from a particular source that I particularly value. And then I'm on to spiritual practice, my business, which is spirit. And this brings that freedom. As I allow, as and this goes for whatever thoughts we take in, whether they be from news organizations, radio, TV, 8-track cassettes, I don't care. Bring it in. Be aware of what ideas you bring into your inner voice.
Yeah.
Are you thinking? Is it stinking thinking that's going on in your experience? Are you using stinking thinking, thoughts that are not serving you or anybody else? We need to get to I need to get to and I always and I always promote going to that still small voice and feeling that freedom and then bringing your vision to it. And
Yeah.
that's where you get to take your action.
Yeah.
Well, take my action.
Yeah. I wanted to talk with you about, you find yourself more creative, doing
Yeah.
more creative things. What are some of the things that have come up for you since November what was it, November the
Fifth.
15th?
The
Uh,
fifth. Yeah.
the 5th. What came up for you? I know, because I'm going through the same thing. I've been praying and saying, okay, what is my calling here? What is it? What do you want from me? Okay, inner being, spirit, genie within, God, divine presence. What do you want from me at this point? Because I feel very strongly that I'm called to do something. So what is it that you've been doing for creativity lately, Dean? I'm just curious.
Oh, personally, what I've been
Yeah,
doing,
yeah,
I've been singing stuff I haven't ever sung in my life. It's like Okay, I'm wrapping myself around some music. I'm working with different people. I'm exploring new possibilities that are, have got a big gulp going on in my human throat. I bring music into my spiritual practice. Bring music into my life, and I'm exploring music with people who understand and experience a different sense of music. And I'm finding great delight in it.
Yeah,
Great delight in it.
yeah. And you've been taking music, studying music lessons or
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah.
And
I've been back to as a vocalist. I will take lessons for the rest of my life. It's just part of how I keep my instrument. I keep my instrument engaged, and that's a musician's sense of spiritual practice. It's like with New Thought Tuesdays. It's not like, okay, let's study this stuff, get it, and then forget it, because our life it'll be done for the rest of our life. This is a spiritual practice to go forward through the rest of your life. And
yeah,
for me, it just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper.
yeah, yeah. I've been doing the same thing with my filmmaking. It's like I know what I'm, I know that I'm here for a purpose, and that's to inspire filmmakers and writers and actors and people in the entertainment business. And so I've been being called to create different organizations and stuff like that that will, uh, how do we use spiritual principles as creatives in the entertainment business to not combat, not fight, because there isn't a fight and there isn't anything to combat, but to align yourself with the consciousness of what you want to create, peace and harmony in your life and joy. And how do we do that as creatives? As storytellers, we can use, our platform, whether it's media interviews or making movies or making music, and
Sure.
everything that we do should be plant seeds of hope in our audience's consciousness, because that's what we need. We need hope. Not, isn't that the opposite of fear? Everybody's in fear of what's going on politically. And if we can just plant seeds of hope, then those seeds, we can water them and nourish them as filmmakers and creatives and as musicians, and like you're doing it. And you even have opportunities to teach
Yeah.
music coming up. And so,
Yeah.
to me,
It,
that's the universe calling on you.
yes. Well, there's another thing happening since we're getting a little bit personal here today. My sense of home, I have a really strong value for home. I really enjoy that sense of home. And as most of you know, we've been here in Delaware for about 3.5 years, and great people and enjoying people here. But it has really just been in the last few months that I'm really feeling inside that inner sense of home, and as I'm feeling that sense of home, so that would for me be what you were calling alignment, Rich,
Yeah.
peace, love, possibility. As I'm feeling all of that, I'm calling it home. There is more possibility happening in my experience, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for you guys, our audience out there, that what is calling you forth right here, right now? What is that inner desire, that creativity, because we're all creative, everybody creates. What is it that's calling you forth? Go within, pray, meditate, vision, ask the divine presence within. What am I being called forth to do in this situation and what's going on in the country today? And then once you find that, you have purpose. And when you have purpose, you have uh you can create more uh I don't know, joy in life and love and beauty and harmony and peace and joy and all of those great things that you want to be able to feel, not fear, doubt, and worry. So find your purpose. You're being called. We're all being called at this time to do something. And it's not fighting, like I say, it's not fighting. It's not fighting against anything. It's what are you for, right? What are you standing for here? And how do you express that in ways that are going to uplift both you and everybody around you and not harm anybody?
I'm going to take a little bit of a stance on this. If you are feeling like, oh, Rich and Dean, that's just Pollyanna optimistic nonsense. There's real things going on in this world that we have to. Okay, I don't disagree. Actually, the whole Pollyanna thing, that story came out really well for her. But
Yeah.
the that position of there's a problem that needs to be solved through anger is something I highly encourage myself, and I highly encourage everyone. If you get to that place, take a breath, because that's not from whence we're coming. The New Thought Tuesdays philosophy, the science of mind, New Thought ancient wisdom, it is all coming from a place of alignment. So the more riled up you get, if that riled is like, all right, let's do this. This is joy. This is possibility. I stand for this. This is great. In my judgment, go for it. If you're standing for is, we're going to get these, that's when in ancient New Thought, ancient wisdom, we go back to our source, become aligned, and know the truth about love. My faith is in love. My faith is not in fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're here to work with you guys to help you. How do they
Yeah.
get in touch with us, Dean?
Well, you can go to www.newthoughttuesdays.com. And if you'd like to sign up for reminders, a couple of gentle reminders each week about New Thought Tuesdays, just sign up and we'll remind you. You can also get information about our product, our program, our membership that is called the Inner Circle. You're welcome to join us. That's how you do it.
And I want to put a plug in. You can go to theinfinitefilmmaker.com or to
you can go to deanregan.com too.
Yeah. And join us there. And I'm creating
Yeah.
a network for infinite for filmmakers and creatives to be able to work through this stuff. The Infinite Filmmakers Coalition for spiritual coalition for democracy. And
Yes.
so I'm there to work with you guys to help you to work through these emotions that you're feeling, and how do you get to the other side, and how do you use that to be able to create more inspiring books and music and novels and films and stuff like that. So anyways, I wanted to put that pitch in.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. We're going into the inner circle right now. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. I think I'm going to be on the road next week, Rich. So we'll see you next week from somewhere on the road.
Okay. So we'll see you from somewhere on the road.
Yep.
So take care. See you Tuesday. Bye.